If you really look at SUSE today is the world's largest independent open source company. So we are in the industry for 28 years. We are the oldest enterprise Linux operating system. We are true open source. So what we provide is a plethora of products, solutions and services, starting from the Linux operating system to containers and application platform. We help enterprises simplify their IT infrastructure, modernize their applications, and accelerate their business through digital transformation. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, which is a very robust, scalable operating system. And then we have on the software-defined storage, SUSE Enterprise Storage, which is a safe-based open source storage solution which takes care of software-defined storage portfolio of ours. On the application delivery and application modernization, we have SUSE CAP, which is Cloud Application Platform, and we also have a container management solution, which is Container as a Service Platform, SUSE CAS. So these are the broad-based portfolio that we offer to customers in India, and we enable them to actually simplify their IT infrastructure, modernize them, and also accelerate their business transformation journey. BFSI is the largest adopter, followed by manufacturing, IT, ITS, healthcare, research and development. So if you look at what has happened is there is an increased consumption of cloud, public cloud within the industry, different industry verticals. Now it ranges from manufacturing SMB segment adopting cloud very fast, as well as large enterprises. They are also adopting cloud today. So if you see what pandemic created is a massive adoption of cloud across industry vertical, be it is manufacturing, be it is IT, ITS, be it is healthcare, be it is FSI. So the adoption of cloud is the immediate impact that you are seeing today in the market. This is followed by the need for organizations to transform their business, which is leading to faster adoption of digital transformation, which means the traditional way of application delivery is getting sidelined and the new microservices based architectures are coming into picture. So that is creating a huge traction on containerized application delivery, and the DevOps market has actually been promoted to an extent where companies do realize that you have to do business online primarily, which means that their shelf space also needs to move very fast. To do that, you cannot have a monolithic application where one single change will trigger the change in the entire application. Instead, they are taking microservices based application so that they can do one small changes, but the rest remains the same. So these adoption of newer technologies are coming into picture. Also, if you look at the data analytics market space, that's again booming, because the more you have consumer online, the more data you generate about a customer, which leads to buying pattern analysis, buying behavior analysis, faster response to market. So digital transformation today has been taken much more seriously due to pandemic. Manufacturing organization, the sales organizations have primarily moved. If you look at a vertical, the sales organizations have primarily moved work from home. So their access to the business systems needs to be secure. So cybersecurity, as you rightly pointed out, is a very important part of the aspect today people are struggling to address because people were not prepared. However, since we have understood the root cause of the problem, measures are being taken to address those problems. Every organization has their own ITSM policies. So they have their own security policies. So they are fast implementing those policies so that they can mitigate the risk. They can also simplify through adoption of newer technology. The work interface that they have to provide, it has to be a lightweight interface. It cannot be a very heavy interface GUI that will have a problem in terms of bandwidth issues, bandwidth consumption. So they are providing very lightweight interfaces. So the applications, the construction of applications are actually changing. So lightweight interfaces, mobile interfaces are the need of the hour. So that is exactly where Kubernetes, container technologies are coming into picture, because they allow you to create those lightweight applications which can be easily transformed, and it can be immediately responded as per the end user's need. So these infrastructure as well as security is of prime importance in the current scenario to protect the IPs of an organization and also help them modernizing their own application in the process, and also making them more agile, which means the entire business is actually going through a digital transformation today. So we have been talking digital transformation 6 months back, but the actual impact, the actual urgency of having the digital transformation being executed in the organization has been of prime importance. The SLA today is uptime. Okay, so people does not want to have any unscheduled downtimes, which means they need to have a rock solid infrastructure which does not go down. Okay, so zero downtime is the need of the hour, and with SUSE we have products which enables organization to have a near zero downtime. We have a product called SUSE Live Patching, which allows organizations to patch their Linux server without specifically the kernels, without having a downtime. So minimizing unscheduled, unplanned downtime is of prime importance today. Okay, because everybody needs to access the infrastructure 24/7. So the SLAs are becoming much more stringent in terms of downtime. Okay. Now what it translates into business, the business is now becoming more service oriented. So organizations which are delivering services are actually doing a lot of business. For example, an SMB who earlier used to have their own small data center, their own servers. Today they are moving to cloud. Okay. Now to move their cloud, lock, stock, barrel, they need people who can actually move their existing applications on cloud. So services around cloud migration is actually delivering a lot of business. SUSE Linux is offered across most of the public cloud services provider in India, which includes we have specific tie-ups with Microsoft Azure, and that tie-up, that partnership has blossomed many folds within the last 6 months, and we are seeing an unprecedented move of organizations adopting cloud infrastructure. So our cloud services revenue through our cloud services partners have been seeing remarkable increase. So that's where services business probably is delivering much more today, and the consumption pattern of organizations, because nobody today wants to get their money stuck for a period of 5 years or 7 years, what used to happen earlier. Okay, you used to cut across everything in capital expenditure. Today, the most important expenditure that they are trying to curtail is the capital expenditure and move everything to a operational expenditure model, which means pay as you go, use infrastructure, use services, but only pay as the amount that you are using, not pay for future. Pay right now, use it. That's a paradigm shift that has happened in the mindset of consumer. People who have already invested for newer projects, they're actively seeking cloud infrastructure. For existing customers, we have a business model which allows you to take your existing subscription to cloud and use it out there. Okay, so what happens is our existing customers are either continuing with their on-prem infrastructure, however, they're actively seeking options of OpEx model for any new projects they are going to undertake. So that's the area where we are being very fortunate that we could retain all our customers. We had a very strong first half in spite of the COVID impact, okay, and all our global workforce working remotely from home. We also are looking at contributing to help medical device manufacturers, free open source technologies from SUSE to ensure that the community work goes on, our CSR initiatives are taken care of. Now, in terms of new customers acquisition, okay, the new customers acquisitions are happening because we have a very strong play with our partners across industry verticals, okay, across regions, across geographies. That broad ecosystem of having work alliances with Microsoft Azure, with AWS, with the Google Cloud Platform, with our Indian cloud services providers like Tata Communications, NetMagic. So that is helping us to get most of the customers who are looking at not owning their own infrastructure, however, using the infrastructure on the cloud. So the one area where we see a lot of new customer acquisitions is happening on the cloud. On-prem, definitely the business is impacted because you don't have manpower coming down to the office. So that on-prem infrastructure business probably has gone down a little. However, it has been very well compensated to the increased business that we are getting from our cloud services provider. So in a way, for SUSE in India, it's a very balanced year which we are going through, and the entire industry today appreciates the fact that we have been able to support pharma organizations, medical device manufacturers by offering them free open source technologies to help them so that they can build machines or equipments which can tackle, say for example, we have been able to provide free softwares to indigenous medical equipment manufacturers who are manufacturing indigenous ventilators. So all this is creating a good word of mouth for us and helping us to maintain the growth story that we had for the last 6 years and continue on the same track. One is free open source technologies and also free online training for their IT staff to fast track their digital transformation. Okay. So naming today, probably I will not be able to spell out the names, but the numbers are big, and there are some big uh, organizations who are trying to make vaccines as well, based out of India. So they are our customers, existing customers. Okay, we are trying to help them by offering support, by offering free online training. For every organization, there will be a few workloads which are critical in nature. Okay, so we provide priority support through our subscription model to all those customers. So priority support means a 24/7 support. And we also understand that during this lockdown period, there will be we have not only priority support, we have also given uh, extended support to our customers. So the way we had planned was to have the manpowers rolling on shifts. So we have a global company, so we have people across the globe supporting our customers. So that everybody put together as a team helped to ensure that none of our mission critical installation suffered during this point of time. Okay, so coming back to your second question, which is on the sales front, I believe that in today's time frame, everybody has understood the fact that physical meeting probably will not be a normal for the next few months. Okay, and they have agreed to conduct virtual meetings through video conferencings, and we have been able to close deals to them. Okay, which shows that the market is also maturing and understanding. So if it is not the way, then video conferencing and then phone calls and the relationship that you built with your customer. So SUSE, our communications are very clean, clear. That helps to build trust amongst partners and customers, and that helped us to close business during this point of time. We are a true open source organization. So our ethos are absolutely in terms of not getting a customer into a locked-in scenario. So that's the basic difference, that SUSE works across all hardware platforms, okay, with the same kernel that works across a mainframe, across a power server, across an ARM, across small devices, across x86 server platforms, across desktops. Okay, so that is the basic difference that between a true open source organization and organizations who does not believe in the ethos of true open source. I am with an open source organization for the last 1 decade. Okay, so I have seen how the perception changes. So today, I think there will be it's a negligible amount of CIOs probably think that open source services also comes free. Okay, so the software is free, it still remains free, and that's the ethos of a true open source organization. Most of the CIOs have accepted, and they also values that, because they want that their needs be serviced at the right time, at the right moment, so their IT operations doesn't stop. So there is a remarkable changes that happen over the period of last 1 decade. If they don't adopt open source, they are unable to innovate, because whatever developments, whatever new things are coming up, everything is coming up in the open source world, because there are millions of contributors in this open source world. So the faster innovation is way too simpler in open source, adoption of open source, where an organization needs to innovate. Today, every organization has to innovate. They have to innovate on their sales strategies, they have to innovate on their production process, they have to innovate on their R&D. So the innovation is synonymous to your open source today. So it's for any progressive CIO today, open source is their one true friend, which is going to help him accelerate the transformation process. The last 6 months, the number of CIOs that called me up are way far than what I used to get post, pre-pandemic. So people have understood the values of open source. They know that that's the only hand that they have if they want to fast track their digital transformation.